It's hard to get off the dead poet's train, tempting to brag. I met him once at the racetrack, or to call him Hank to impress the suckers, like that actor in the documentary did. If I were the widow of the dead poet or an ex-girlfriend, I would resent that everyone just wanted to talk about old Hank, and when they asked about him, I would tell them all about me. I'm a poet myself, I'd say, and once Bukowski got to have one of his poems right next to one of mine in a magazine. That was in the 80s, and I was starting to become pretty well known, at least at local readings. Then tragedy struck. Well, I don't want to talk about that. It is too sad, and besides that, I am writing again now, and better than ever, I might add. Sometimes I'm even asked to send in poems, and they are almost always published. So that's about all I feel like telling you about me and Hank. Once in an alley on the rich side of Santa Monica, near the blue bus stop at Harvard in Colorado, I found 6 brand new Hanes for Her XX large ladies' drawers, exactly my size, spilling from a plastic bag. Store tags dangled from the elastic waistbands. The crotches were soft and snowy white. What a mystery! Who would toss her clean underwear next to a grimy trash bin? Maybe a successful Weight Watcher, I thought. Now a size 8 and no longer in need of so much cotton. She is prancing around in her Victoria's Secret thongs while I stand undecided beside a battered dumpster. Wednesday at Camarillo State Hospital is canteen day for the Mongoloid people. Tiny trippers, they wear helmets, knee guards, elbow pads, wire masks. They sometimes fall from their world into real walls, pavement, trees, fences, puddles, passers-by. Some bite. They chatter to each other while we psycho whores run our hustle outside for the day, scheming on ways to get candy bars and Cokes. We resent the break in our routine. Mick Jagger flings his scarf, madly strutting back and forth. He grumbles that he cannot get phone calls from the Stones while our restaurant is occupied. I cling to my friend who is tight with the med nurse. I know she has extra Valiums. We all try to save up 10 tens to take with our coffee tomorrow when we are allowed back in to party in La La Land. The Virgin Mary is masturbating naked on her bed again. It is almost time for lunch. I report her to the nurse because there is little to do today between now and the walk to the dining room. She will be told to stop. She will have macaroni with the rest of us. I am told there is saltpeter in the Jell-O. I think that if that is the case, it is having a reverse effect on some of us. I have come to fear drool in my food. The servers are in bad shape. Here so long they have secured permanent positions. At one table alone sit people with toilet seats around their necks. They are from the family. This is the treatment for drug addiction here. I am a drug addict. I treat myself with rest and narcotics I get from the alcoholic doctor who sips bourbon from the thermos bottle on his desk. He calls it tea and me crazy. I am about to be cured. There are others waiting to get into this ward for mildly neurotic people, Unit 12, a good place to be in winter when it's hard to find drugs on the street, and harder still to find shelter. A stone's throw from the chapel where the mattresses are spread out back for bush therapy. The nurses look the other way. We look guilty strolling back. Some dare to walk hand in hand. I never do. My partner is missing. He stays behind to drift in fantasy, to forget he could not get hard, to create his own version of satisfied passion, to slam into his scarred arm a different remembrance. I have been informed I can go home. Group therapy has made me well. Stan waits for me in Tahunga. He writes to me. He sends me things. I do not want to leave. I had a shrink named Bob, a tall man given to drink. He slunk into our groups, rumpled, sometimes drunk. "Joe," he'd say, "how do you feel about me being late?" Like being late was a psychological ploy to urge a feeling out of Joe. Joe always mumbled, "I don't know." Done, Bob moved on, polling each of us. Some did have feelings. "I felt abandoned," piped Judy. "I was worried," said Mary. "You're a pig," screamed Amy, tears shooting from her eyes like bullets. "Fuck you, man." She was really in touch. Me, I didn't care that much. I just sat there feeling like I wanted to go out for a drink with Bob sometime real soon. It was either a fast-track day at Hollywood Park or wet with the smart money on the mudders. "Jim," I said, "look over there. That's Charles Bukowski in line up ahead of us, moving now toward the clubhouse where he would be lost from sight until he reappeared with his head bent over a racing form, penciling in the day's bets. Maybe scribbling a poem in the margins about assholes who bothered him while he was working on his picks. Not me, I thought. I am too cool for that. After the fifth, waiting in line for a chili dog, damn if he wasn't right behind me. What could I do? "Hello," I said. His face was kind, but his eyes were sly. He raised his right hand, palm turned outward. "I'm not him," he said. He looked dead at me, and then he smiled. "I'm not Bukowski."